Welcome to Fun Facts Daily, your source for just the good stuff. Monday through Friday, we're bringing fun facts and news you can use, all carefully curated to uplift and inform. So give yourself a break, relax, and learn something awesome in just a few minutes every day. Hi everyone, I'm Kyle.
I'm Atticus.
And I'm Philly.
While every episode of Fun Facts Daily is clean and appropriate for listeners of all ages, on the first Friday of every month, I like to make a Family Fun Friday with my kids co-hosting as we learn about something we love and hopefully your family can enjoy it together too.
Today, we'll be learning all about Hershey.
But before we get into the facts, let's warm up our brains with a little challenge to see if you can tell fact from fiction. Consider this.
When the Great Depression first hit the United States in 1929, major industrial factories across the country cut costs by laying off millions of workers. Legend has it, Milton Hershey did the exact opposite by launching an aggressive public works campaign to construct a luxury hotel, a sports arena, and a community center, all to make sure that not a single person in his town lost their jobs. What do you think? Did Hershey take on a bunch of construction projects to protect an entire town from the worst economic crash in American history? We'll find out at the end of the episode.
Now, for the word of the day. Today's word is conking. That's C-O-N-C-H-I-N-G.
Conking is a technical term in chocolate manufacturing that describes a process of mixing, agitating, and aerating liquid chocolate at temperatures above 100 degrees Fahrenheit or 38 degrees Celsius. This process evenly distributes cocoa butter within the chocolate, smooths out the rough edges of the solid particles, and allows volatile bitter acids to evaporate. Without conking, the chocolate would be gritty, brittle, and highly acidic.
The word conking goes back to 1879 when the Swiss chocolate manufacturer Rodolphe Lindt invented the process. He noticed that the heavy roller mechanism and long granite trough used to agitate the chocolate mass resembled the shape of a conch shell. Milton Hershey adapted large-scale industrial conking machines in his Pennsylvania factory to create the perfect texture for his milk chocolate bars. Time for your daily high five, our top 5 fun facts about Hershey.
Number 1. Milton Hershey actually failed in the candy industry several times and first found success with caramel, not chocolate.
Milton Hershey dropped out of school at the age of 12, and he started his first candy shop in Pennsylvania in 1876. This first business went bankrupt after 6 years of operation, despite long hours and hard work. He subsequently moved to Chicago, New York City, and New Orleans to launch other candy ventures, but all of them failed, largely because ingredients just cost too much for him to afford. Hershey returned to Pennsylvania in 1886 with no money and established the Lancaster Caramel Company using a fresh milk caramel recipe he learned in Colorado. The Caramel Company grew rapidly and employed over 1,000 workers by the mid-1890s. Hershey saw German chocolate-making machinery at the 1893 World's Columbian Exhibition in Chicago and immediately purchased it for his factory. In 1900, he sold his successful caramel business for $1 million, which gave him the capital he needed to focus entirely on industrializing milk chocolate production. He purchased farmland in Derry Township, Pennsylvania, and built the world's largest chocolate manufacturing plant.
Number 2. The Hershey's Kiss got its name from the sound the machines make during the production.
Hershey introduced the flat-bottomed conical chocolate pieces to the public in 1907. According to the company's records, the name derived from the smacking sound the liquid chocolate made when the machine dropped it onto the metal conveyor belt. The motion of the nozzle releasing the chocolate and pulling away quickly created an audible suction sound resembling the sound of a kiss. Originally, human workers hand-wrapped each individual piece of chocolate in silver aluminum foil. In 1921, the company automated the wrapping process and added the printed paper ribbon extending from the top of the foil to distinguish authentic Hershey products from imitations. The machinery could produce up to 86 million individual chocolate kisses every day during peak season to meet the national demand. Today, the manufacturing line operates continuously, processing thousands of pounds of chocolate per hour through their specialized nozzles.
Number 3. Hershey, Pennsylvania, the town where Hershey's factory is located, has streetlights shaped like Hershey Kisses.
Milton Hershey constructed a model company town around his factory starting in 1903 so his employees could have a high quality of life. He rejected the traditional crowded worker housing of the industrial era and instead built tree-lined streets with modern plumbing, electricity, and affordable homes. The town infrastructure eventually expanded to include a free public transit system, a park, a museum, and a public zoo. The two main intersecting roads in the town center are called Chocolate Avenue and Cocoa Avenue. In 1963, town officials installed custom streetlights along Chocolate Avenue designed to match the shape of Hershey's Kisses. The line consists of alternating lights where one looks like a silver-wrapped candy and the next looks like an open brown chocolate cone. The town of Hershey, Pennsylvania remains an unincorporated community but attracts millions of tourists annually. We absolutely love Hershey, Pennsylvania, and have actually gone on multiple vacations to visit Hershey Park, check out the Hershey Museum, tour the factory, make our own Hershey bars, and enjoy these delightful themed design elements.
Number 4. During World War II, Hershey produced billions of survival ration bars specifically designed to taste bad.
The United States Army approached Hershey in 1937 to design an emergency survival ration called the Ration D bar. Chief chemist Sam Hinkle formulated the bar according to strict military requirements. The final product had to weigh exactly 4 ounces and withstand high temperatures up to 120 degrees Fahrenheit or 49 degrees Celsius. The government explicitly requested the bar taste only slightly better than a boiled potato, so soldiers wouldn't eat it as a casual snack. They needed it to remain intact for genuine combat survival situations. The resulting bars were so thick and hard that soldiers had to shave off pieces with a knife or melt them in hot water. The ingredients included chocolate, sugar, oat flour, cacao butter, skim milk, powder, and vitamin B1 to prevent nutritional deficiencies. Hershey workers manufactured over 24 million bars per week by the end of the war, totaling more than 3 billion units distributed globally. The company received 5 Army-Navy E production awards for its efficiency and massive contribution to the war effort.
Number 5. A school for underprivileged kids holds voting control over the entire multi-billion-dollar Hershey Corporation.
Milton Hershey and his wife Catherine didn't have any children of their own, so they established the Hershey Industrial School in 1909 to educate orphaned boys. In 1918, Hershey secretly transferred his entire personal fortune, including his controlling shares of the Hershey Chocolate Company stock, into a trust for the school. This financial arrangement gave the school steady funding through corporate dividends, regardless of economic fluctuations. Today, the institution is known as the Milton Hershey School and educates over 2,000 students completely tuition-free. The Milton Hershey School Trust still retains more than 75% of the voting power within the public company. This structure prevents outside corporations from launching hostile takeovers of the candy brand, as the trustees have to protect the school's endowment. The school provides students with housing, clothing, medical care, and college scholarships funded entirely by candy sales.
Now for some news you can use.
If you want to try your hand at making custom candy at home, the key is a thermal process called tempering. The most reliable method is a double boiler, where a heat-proof glass or stainless steel bowl sits tightly over a saucepan of simmering water. The bottom of the bowl should not touch the water below. The indirect steam provides gentle, even heating so the chocolate doesn't get scorched.
Chop your chocolate into half-inch pieces, melting about 2/3 over the steam, and set aside the remaining third to use later.
Tempering chocolate is an interesting bit of kitchen chemistry. The cocoa butter can crystallize and solidify into 6 distinct molecular arrangements. Manipulating the temperature can form 5 crystals, which create a glossy exterior, a crisp snap when broken, and a melting point of 93 degrees Fahrenheit. To achieve this, the initial batch has to be heated to 115 degrees Fahrenheit or 46 degrees Celsius for dark chocolate, or 110 degrees Fahrenheit and 43 degrees Celsius for milk chocolate. This will dismantle all the unstable crystal structures. Removing the bowl from the steam and stirring in the unmelted seed chocolate, that third that you had set aside before, drops the temperature to 80 degrees Fahrenheit or 27 degrees Celsius, which forces the liquid to copy the stable Form 5 network and isolate the solid seed before a final brief reheat to 89 degrees Fahrenheit, 32 Celsius, for dark chocolate, or slightly cooler 86 degrees Fahrenheit or 30 degrees Celsius if you're using milk chocolate. Once the chocolate enters this tempered state, you can stir in dry mix-ins before pouring it into silicone candy molds. You might consider chopped pistachios or other nuts, dehydrated strawberry pieces, crushed pretzels, or a tiny bit of sea salt. Just be sure your mix-in ingredients are completely dry, because any moisture, a single drop, can cause a chemical reaction known as seizing. Basically, water will cause the sugar and cocoa solids to separate from the fat and bind together into a gritty paste. So be sure to keep water out of it. But after you fill the molds, just let them cool and solidify at room temperature, ideally a slightly cool room around 65 to 68 degrees Fahrenheit or 18 to 20 degrees Celsius for about 30 minutes depending on the thickness of the chocolates. And then, enjoy.
Finally, the moment you've been waiting for. At the beginning of the episode, we asked if Milton Hershey funded major building projects, specifically to prevent worker layoffs.
That's a fact.
In 1930, Hershey ordered his executives to begin construction on a massive scale, declaring that they would build a hotel to keep their 600 builders employed. Over the next decade, his company financed the construction of the Hotel Hershey, a community building, a sports arena, and a stadium.
His spending kept local residents working and circulating money, making Hershey one of the few towns that did not suffer mass unemployment during the Great Depression.
In order to make sure that all this construction was really supporting the community, he actually did the projects in a way that relied on manual labor rather than heavy industrial machinery. For instance, during the excavation for the massive Hershey Sports Arena, workers used traditional picks, shovels, and horse-drawn scrapers to prolong the construction timeline and maximize the number of paid hours available to workers. The completed buildings not only provided immediate economic relief, but also permanently transformed the town into a premier tourism destination. This forward-thinking approach allowed the community to emerge from the decade with modern infrastructure, zero municipal debt, and a highly stable local economy. So really, it was wins all around.
I hope you enjoy learning about Hershey with us today.
And be sure to tune in every weekday for more fun facts.
Fun Facts Daily is an Airwave Media podcast. It was written, recorded, mixed, and edited by us, Kyle, Atticus, and Philly. Thanks for sharing a part of your day with us. Be sure to follow Fun Facts Daily on your favorite podcast app so you can keep the good stuff coming your way every day. And if you like the show, please do me a favor and leave a kind rating, review, or just tell your friends about it.